Welcome to the Whaler Guys. I'm Jerry Irwin along with Peter Hindle on that side of the blue line. Tonight we don't have a blue line. We have a soccer field. Or a football field. We are talking with Nick. Pronounce your name because I'll destroy it.
Yeah, Balistierri.
Balistierri, who is the president, manager, assistant coach of the soccer club, Hartford Football Club. And we thank you very much for coming to visit with us on this warm day, right, Pete?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, always warm for me.
Happy to be here.
Above 75, I'm in trouble.
We have Hartford Hockey tuning in on Facebook Live. So thank you again for joining us. A new soccer season is upon us. What was the other night you had? You've had two preseason games,
That's
April
right.
19th and April 28th. You split?
Yeah, we split those games.
Okay.
So we had quite a few trialists coming out for the team, some returning players.
Yep.
To play against some local schools.
That's
So,
great. And again, familiarize our audience with what league it is, where it stands with when you get into the professional soccer league, MSL is it? And then we come down?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
we're in the NPSL. So the pyramid of U.S. soccer is structured that the top division, MLS, Major League Soccer. I think everybody's pretty familiar with those teams in those cities.
Yeah.
And then we dive into somewhat of a disarray where there is an official recognized Division II league called USL, United Soccer League.
Okay.
And then right now there's no real Division III.
Okay.
They're working on that. And this is Division IV. So for those baseball fans out there, the best analogy I can give you, it's single A baseball.
Okay.
But for soccer.
Okay.
Right.
That's a great analogy actually, because then people put it into perspective. You know, we have the jersey behind us,
Yeah.
which is sponsored by Hummel.
Whaler colors.
And
we have a green screen, so it may not look like it's
yeah,
Whaler colors.
yeah.
But believe me, it is.
Yep.
Very cool jersey, and really nice. And people can purchase these jerseys on your website.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me tell you a little bit about it.
Sure.
So, you know, our kit sponsor is Hummel. They're a Danish company, and we entered in a 3-year partnership with them. Great people, and the gentleman we work with is a former U.S. men's national team goalie.
Okay.
So he understands the game.
Yep.
Our primary kit sponsor is Armstrong Rockwell.
Okay.
They're a local business here in Hartford that's been around for 40-plus years. You can find them on Trumbull Street.
Yes, I think I met the owner.
Yeah, Al Armstrong. He's
What a
good
great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of fun at those games. He's very passionate.
He is. You'll see him at every game.
And he was a lot of fun to talk to. He really enjoyed being there. I think he brought his family with him.
He does.
Yeah, so it was great. Last year I was able to see a couple games. And, you know, if you have not seen the Hartford Football Club in action, locally you can go to Trinity College, they're going to be playing, Newington, and CCSU, Central Connecticut State University.
So all home games are at Central. I think we'll play an exhibition match with a team from Providence, likely at Trinity or field to be named. You know, securing fields when you don't own one is
difficult.
It's like finding ice. You know?
May 5th, this Saturday, 5 p.m. That one is against the Hartford Portuguese Club.
Right.
And that one's at CCSU.
So
Yep.
so we actually just played that one.
Oh, you just
okay.
played
Yeah,
that
we
one.
just
I'm
played-
sorry.
Yeah, May 5th.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
No, that was,
So how did it go?
that was
Yeah.
that was in Newington. I
That was in
apologize.
Newington, yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, May 5th,
Yep.
so for our fans out there who are not aware, there is a Portuguese club of Hartford here in the city, close to Newington border. And unfortunately, there was a kitchen fire, and it burned down.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, and the team has had a soccer team for a good part of 5 decades.
Wow.
So, you know, we were talking with some of the guys at the club and said, you know, what can we do to help? And why not play a soccer game?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
we'll play against your team. All the proceeds will go to benefit the renovation of the club.
Wow.
And we organized it with Newington Youth Soccer Club.
That's awesome.
And so they had all their kids come down that day. You know, it was a big fanfare.
Oh, great.
Admission, right, relatively cheap.
Now, what is the cost to get into a game?
Yeah, so adults are $10, kids are $5. We do group tickets, and we do community nights. So every home game, we try to identify 1 or 2 local youth communities and say, hey, bring all your youth clubs, and we'll give you special ticketing. And wear your
Excellent.
jerseys, and we'll make the night about you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And so, like, for instance, so last year's your first year. Is there a lot of turnover on the roster from this year to last year? Or is that normal for this type of league?
There's some attrition.
Yeah, there is.
You know, I would say the good core group is back.
Yeah.
You know, so we returned about 5 starters and about half the team.
Okay.
And how many's on the roster, actually? We don't even know that.
Yeah. So we've rostered 26 guys.
Wow,
Okay.
okay.
And if you look, a good percentage is Hartford-based talent, Connecticut talent. We want to be a team representative of the state and the city.
And we have them right here. We have your goalkeeper, Hammy Cara.
Yeah, Jaime Carr.
Yep, he's from the University of Pittsburgh, from Wethersfield, Connecticut. You go right through it, Central Connecticut State University.
Yep.
He's from, that's Luke Albertini. He's from Massachusetts. Western Mass Pioneers are represented. He's from Hartford. That's Paulinton Johnson.
Yeah, Paulinton Johnson.
Mid-level, right? Midi?
Yeah.
Yep. Ryan Taylor, forward from Central Connecticut State University, South Windsor, Connecticut. And you go right down. You have Somers, Connecticut, Bloomfield, Connecticut, Portland, Connecticut, Jamaica. So, everyone's, like you said, from this area, which is nice.
Yeah. That's cool. That's a cool thing because, like, you like the fact that you have the hometown guys, you get some people there that have grown up here and, but love the logo. I think the
Thank
logo
you.
is fantastic. Really cool thing. And the Colt building is one of those things in Hartford that's Hartford. I mean,
It is. It is.
You can't think of anywhere else that would be. That's the Colt, building. So that's awesome. Now I don't even know about the weather conditions. You guys play rain or shine?
Oh yeah, I mean.
So no matter if it's howling wind and rain, you guys are out.
Just
it
no
was,
lightning.
If it was snowing, we would be playing. We'd be shoveling the lines, but we'd be playing.
Yeah. But even lightning storms? Or
No. Lightning's the one thing we gotta hightail it out for a
It's
little
gonna
bit.
make you hold a pole.
Especially with those metal bleachers.
That's what I gotta do.
Yeah, metal bleachers, that causes
You
a
had some
disruption.
decent crowds though at CCSU. I mean,
Yeah.
Jerry, you've been to the games.
Yes.
A couple thousand people coming out.
It's really a great thing to see. I have watched soccer. I prefer watching soccer in person. I've had the opportunity at Central to see the games. Really exciting. And again, the talent is amazing. And as we get older, as we all get older, you can't believe how fast they're running, and the energy level on a soccer field is just constant, and that time keeps on running.
Well, something about soccer crowds, they pump up a game more than anything. It's just crowds at soccer games are just a different kind of breed. I mean, you see that with all these other sports, but if there's like in unison, soccer crowds can do stuff in unison, and it's clear as bell.
It is,
really cool.
and they all sing well.
Yeah.
Chant, sing. There's the group. What are they called? The Hartford. What's the following?
Yeah, AOH, our supporters group.
Yes,
Okay.
and they are absolutely wonderful. They bring drums, they bring cowbells, noisemakers, and they have their jerseys on. Well, as it gets cooler, they'll put their scarves on, and it's wonderful to see the passion of your fans.
Right.
And when they score, they sing the Brass Bonanza.
That's
So
right.
it's great.
That's important.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, too.
Every goal that's scored for Hartford City,
Yeah.
we throw on Brass Bonanza to
It's
get a
all-
little nostalgic.
That's awesome.
You know what? You have the colors for the jerseys, and to sing that, and that Hartford connection with the Colt building.
Yeah.
All of it together should be a win-win. And we were just speaking about the soccer in Hartford last week, and I think it's important to bring up that the national team, the farm team of New England Revolution, is it?
Yeah, the Revs.
Yep. Are the only people that can play in that because of the. Please explain it. We were talking
absolutely.
off camera, and I don't want to take the words out of your
No,
mouth.
yeah,
You
it's
know
good.
more about
Right.
it than I do.
So we talk about the structure of professional soccer in the country. So, the top teams, they're always acquiring talent, domestically and internationally. And then in Division II, when a player needs time to develop, get some game time, maybe not with the first team.
Rehab. Yep.
They'll send him down to the lower team. In this case, Hartford Sports Group is going to be the farm team of the New England Revolution, or at least that's what we've been told and informed.
Okay. Yep.
So, the first team, New England Revolution, they have their own youth academy. So sometimes they sign those young players to contracts, and they're probably going to ship them to Hartford, and some of those players will play here in the city. And the league itself is set up where each team is a franchise.
Right.
So as a result, you know, the contract that you sign is quite large in length. I've seen it, you know, 90+ pages.
Wow.
And for that, you know, whatever stadium you play in, you must have exclusive rights as the team of that sport to play. So as much as we would love to be in Dillon Stadium,
Yeah.
you know, as our emblem shows,
Sure, sure.
it just doesn't seem like a possibility. Now, CRDA could have pushed back a little bit and tried to negotiate with the Hartford Sports Group to see that happen. Not to say that can't happen in the future, but it's something we're going to have to live with.
Yep. Now, with that exclusive rights that they have, does that mean you have to keep on every year going out and looking for places to play?
We have to look if we don't own one ourselves.
Right. Right.
So,
So
you know,
every year is a new venture to sign these
Yeah.
deals with the town of Newington, Central, and you know it's not cheap. And
No,
you
no.
know you guys are in the business to get these players developed to move them up eventually, but also it takes away from the fans because they have to go all over the place
Yeah,
to see their
yeah.
team. There's not a home stadium.
Yeah, so what we've done this year, you know, with scheduling, and I was down at the owners meeting. Every year our league and PSL, we have an owners meeting in December. We get together and we discuss the schedule and the conferences themselves, you know, amongst the teams plan. And we've structured it so every home game is Saturday at 7. So for the fan perspective, you know when, you know where, on what day,
Yep.
it doesn't change.
Yeah, right. Yep.
So
And that's good
and
because
it's
then,
the right night to do it. Yeah. You know.
yeah, exactly. You know, you have a couple. Do you have Saturday games or is it all
Yeah,
Sunday?
no.
Yeah,
So
you got some Saturdays too.
all,
yes.
all home games are Saturday. Some away games, right, we're not
Yep.
in control of,
Yeah.
Right,
are on
right.
Sunday. And all the games are at Central.
Yes.
And what we've done this year, we had tailgating last year.
Yes, yes, and again, you know, I cringe sometimes when there's tailgating.
And a college
Football's one thing. Soccer, whole different animal.
Yeah.
Everyone is friendly, respectful.
Yeah.
They cleaned up their trash. Some guy yelled out his window. He goes, "Hey, Whaler guy!" And I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Yep, this is my real job over here. So it's neat because everyone is kind of together. You know, you have several tailgates,
Yes.
but everyone kind of congregates together, which is
yeah.
nice.
No, that's
Yeah.
great. What time they usually start before the game?
Tailgate will kick off, well, some kick off much earlier,
Yeah, they
but
get there.
the official tailgate kicks off at 5 o'clock.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
And we're going to have a fan zone this year.
Oh, nice.
With,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
for families and have some games.
Oh, that's awesome.
So some oversized Jenga and things, some
Oh,
cornhole.
that's
things
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. And again, you have a great deal of families come. Joe the printer out of Minuteman Press out of Bristol.
Yeah, that's right.
He brings his kids
Yeah,
to
he's been there.
the game. Yep, Nicholas and Christopher.
Yeah.
So we've seen them, and he loves going to the games. So it's great, you know.
Yeah.
We have Joe watching tonight. Lindsay's watching. Michael's watching. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I got a couple watching on
Yeah,
Hartford Hockey as
it's
well.
great. You know, Matthew Green is watching. Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Michael Glasson, good evening.
Yeah, Michael Glass is a
Yep.
big soccer fan, so I don't know if you met him
Mr.
yet.
Britt, how are you?
Good Whaler Twitter account. So.
Yep. So, you know, it's great that people can join us and find out more about the Hartford Football Club. We're here with Nick, and he's going to get us through this section of the show. The Agents of Hale is the supporter of the Hartford Football Club, and great bunch of people. I think you should come to the game just to see the pregame with the Agents of Hale, because they're a great bunch of people and they're fun to talk to. And again, like you said, with the tailgating is a lot of fun up there.
Yeah.
They bring the camper. They brought a
do, yeah.
camper.
They got their
Yeah.
camper.
An RV.
Yeah. Well, you got to have power, right? You
Yep.
run your generator. Or
Yep.
whatever,
And they have the grill out there, and it's
Yeah.
wonderful. And the only thing missing is a giant Whalers logo on the outside.
This is true.
So.
Now, do you guys have a signature moment from last season? Maybe a goal or a win?
Yeah, we do.
What comes to your mind? Describe the as it happened.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was the inaugural season, so there was a lot of high points.
Yep.
But we managed to make the playoffs,
That's awesome.
and we had to go on the road, and we went up to Boston, and a very formidable team. You know, somewhat of a rivalry based on the 2 regular season games we had. And
That's good to hear.
in the 88th minute, right, local product to Hartford, Paul Lyndon Johnson,
Uh-huh.
you know, who you mentioned before.
Yep.
hit a shot from about 30 yards out with about 2 minutes left to go in the game,
Wow.
which secured the victory,
Yeah.
2-1.
Wow.
So, right, first year, first playoff game, it's a win.
Yeah.
Right?
That's awesome.
You had your,
It's kind of like the Vegas Golden
Golden
Knights.
Knights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, I kind of like it.
Yeah, that's great. That's
We have
awesome. So-
we have Connecticut super fan
Michael
Michael's
Lombard,
watching.
yeah.
Good evening, Michael. Nice
Like
to
to
see
have
you.
him at your game.
Joel
Yeah.
Lackey, our expert bass fisherman, is watching.
he's
Good
watching.
evening.
Yeah.
No, it's great. You know, when you can beat Boston or New York, you know, we're good with that.
Yeah. We try to stick it to them when we can.
Yeah. In one of these games, I think it's you play Boston City.
Yep. July 9th.
Yeah, July 9th, and that's up in Boston.
It's up in Boston.
At Brother Gilbert Stadium, if you're interested to go for Boston on a little field trip there.
And just to clarify, the name of the team is Hartford City FC.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Hartford City Football Club?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's Hartford City FC,
Yep.
and we're known as the Colts. So if you take a closer look into the emblem, right,
Yeah, you can see
there's actually a Colt
Yeah.
in the Colt
Yeah,
Dome.
we got it up on the
Yeah,
screen.
you can see it there,
I
yeah.
see it. It's
Here, make that full screen, Lindsay, so everyone can see. There we go.
Yeah, perfect.
There you go. Yep, that's awesome.
yeah,
So there's
I did
Colt.
notice that when you did that.
Yeah,
originally.
that's
pretty
really
cool.
cool.
Oh,
They
yeah.
kind of use that whaler thing, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
With
a-
the
It's subtle,
negative
you know?
space.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Space. Yeah, that's right.
That's it is a great logo.
Yeah, it is awesome. Really.
And then you're
those are your colors that they normally wear.
Yeah, so traditionally, right, the colors are
Yeah.
navy and gold.
Yeah.
But traditionally, as in, we've been around for a year.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, and so that was the colors for the first year, and right, we were thinking about what to do in year two. Right,
Okay.
we really wanted to again connect with the community, connect with the Hartford fan base
Yeah.
for any sport, and that's why we kind of did the Hartford colors,
Yep.
you know, Hartford Whaler colors as a nod
Yeah.
to our local sports community.
Right.
Yeah, and it's great. You know, the Argos did the same thing, and I think when you have two different sports that embrace the Hartford tradition,
Yeah.
you know, it becomes the Hartford thing.
Two
which-
sports with goal celebrations.
Yeah.
Most of the sports know what a goal celebration is about. That's for sure.
That's right.
You know. So now? Can you tell us what is your understanding of the soccer market in Hartford? Because I'll tell you, I have not been to one of the international events at
Yeah.
Rentschler.
Oh my God, you
but
got to go.
It's off the hook. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't even really have to advertise it. People go, they sell
Yep.
early. So that's an indicator of the soccer market here. But tell us a little about how what your understanding of it is.
Yeah, so, you know, the metro area of Hartford and New Haven is actually one of the largest sports markets
Yeah.
that doesn't have a professional team.
Correct. Yeah.
We've heard this before. about
Yeah,
another
does it sound like,
team.
does it sound like Michael Freeman?
Imagine-
Yeah.
Well, that and we're the
Yeah.
20th largest market without a
30th
30.
largest market in the country, but largest without a
Yeah.
major league
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
Yep.
So we share your pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, now, I grew up playing the game.
Yeah.
I'm local from Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Okay.
Excellent.
You know, played college soccer. When I finished school, I came back and coached for the club I grew up with, Oakwood in Glastonbury.
Okay, yeah.
And, right, it's a hotbed for,
It really
for
is.
a sport
And
in
it's
this
grown
state.
so much. My daughter, who's now 29, played at Oakwood
Okay.
when she was young. So I remember going to Glastonbury and playing a couple indoor games, but that was it. She was done with that after a certain time.
Yeah, so, right, from a professional standpoint, there was an NASL team, North American Soccer League, and everybody probably recognizes that from
Okay.
Yeah,
New York,
yeah.
New York Cosmos and Pele.
Okay,
That's like the
yeah.
aha
Oh,
moment.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
And they actually played at Dillon, and they were called the Hartford Bicentennials back in the
okay.
70s.
Oh,
Wow,
wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
No, I did not know
And then the team actually moved down to New Haven in the Yoble, played
Okay.
there, and then they were sold to an owner who moved into California.
Ah,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
shocking.
another owner
Yeah.
moving a team out.
Yeah, it happens, right? Yeah.
So then there was the Connecticut Wolves from
Oh,
the
yes.
from the A-League
Yep.
Yeah.
that played over in New Britain.
Yep.
Okay.
At
Yes,
Veterans
I remember
Memorial.
I
that.
remember
Yep.
them. Yeah, they were around for a little while.
Yeah, they were around
Over
for
at Willowbrook Park.
yeah,
Yeah.
for a better part of a decade.
And that
they
was
were there.
NASL team.
No, that was an A-League. It was called
Oh, okay.
I think American Soccer League,
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
something along the lines of that.
Okay. Yeah.
Because again, this was early 90s.
Yeah, right,
you know,
right.
the professional league MLS was just kicked off.
Right, right.
To give you a little sports history, you know, when the U.S. was awarded the 1994 World Cup,
Yeah, I remember that.
FIFA said, "We're going to award it to you, but you got to create a domestic league."
Ah,
So
So that's when that born. That was born
yes,
from that?
that was born
Wow.
from that, and there's a bidding process
Yeah.
with FIFA to get a World Cup, and it happens years in advance.
Right.
So, you know, the country had time to plan for this. So we got the World Cup,
Yeah.
we got the domestic league,
Yeah.
And then things really started taking off
That's true. I never
in the
looked at it
90s.
At that point. That makes a ton of sense because I remember the 1994 World Cup and how exciting that was, and everything. And it's actually a good idea by the
Yeah.
soccer, the FIFA league to say, hey, start everybody getting into it, and then
Sure.
and you can see how they kind of grew. Because I'll tell you, we go to Vaughn's in Hartford.
Yeah, Johnny Vaughn's place.
Oh, he's a
and
great
boy,
guy.
When a soccer game is on, that place is a place to go.
And
for
it's
it.
a zoo.
It's
Yeah.
pretty good. And the bartender's always wearing his soccer jersey.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
So that's like a little hangout, and people they tune in, and so
Yeah.
it's good to see that. And from us, I didn't really realize there was such a big soccer market.
I only realized because my goddaughter, who lives in Newington, played youth soccer, and we got tickets with her youth league
Okay.
to go to. It wasn't a true game. I think it was like a pregame or a preseason
Yep.
game with USA
Yep.
and Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh yeah.
Amazing,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
There was probably a good 25 to 30,000 people there, loud,
Yeah.
and it was great because the fans for Trinidad had all their red on, and all I remember them doing was jumping.
Yeah.
I go, they're never going to stop. I go, how are they going to make it through this whole match?
Yeah.
Jumping up and down and chanting. I was like, my God, this is amazing, and it was. For a first time that I saw a professional soccer game,
Yeah.
it was. I would go. If they offered tickets tomorrow, I'd go again.
Yeah.
It was a great
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
and of course, Rentschler Field. It was a perfect place to see the game.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the national team really likes coming to East Hartford. It's a fantastic pitch,
Yep.
and they get a good crowd. I
Yep.
mean, we've had some memorable moments. Landon Donovan
Yes.
played his last game
Yep.
in a U.S. men's national team uniform,
Yep.
at
Yep.
Rentschler.
Wow.
Before the World Cup in South Africa, I believe we had a send-off game
Right.
of our team. We played against Latvia, so you probably know him from hockey.
Another
Yeah.
great crowd too.
Yeah, and they get 30 to 40,000 without batting an eye.
And that speaks volumes of why are we not bringing more soccer?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you have the New York Boston nonsense that we have to put up with all the time, and their agreements with TV rights and league rights. You know what? Send a game or two down here a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just let the people of Connecticut not have to travel 2 hours up to New York or Boston, and have them play right in Rentschler Field. As you said, the pitch is good for the soccer team, so why not bring them down here? Rentschler's vacant all summer,
Yeah.
until football season starts.
Right. And is the field now at CCSU? Is that the regulations? No matter where you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. So no.
They're always the same length.
So there are minimum and maximum requirements for a field.
Oh.
Oh, so they do vary a little
They
bit.
do vary.
There's not
the
a
way you
test
play
at the
the-
end.
It
There's
does.
not a test at the end of this conversation.
There's no test, no
It's
test.
teaching us a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
So the field at Central is artificial turf,
Yep.
as most are the fields in New England these days,
Right,
right?
right.
Because we got to play year round.
Maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance.
Maintain too. You're not ripping it up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Much,
But
Rug burns.
But there was a professional game at Rentschler. New York City Football Club, NYFC,
Yeah.
played the Houston Dynamo this summer. It got about
It was this summer?
was this summer.
Okay.
It got 10,000 plus fans
Oh, not bad.
for a very hot Saturday afternoon, I think in July.
Well, anything's hot
Yeah.
after October
Oh,
for
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
For me, it's over. Yeah. I'm already in that.
One of our followers, Michael, Connecticut superfan.
Okay.
Soccer in Hartford is genius. I've been saying another road to the NHL return would be if we got an MLS team in. Large Hispanic, Italian, Spanish, Dominican, etc. population along the 91 corridor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's another thing about soccer too. Is it's very the demographic is huge. I mean, everybody's in it, no matter where they're from.
Yeah.
Where their history is from.
Yep.
Where they learn soccer from.
Yep.
So it's a very diverse sport from that standpoint.
It is.
And
Yes.
that's a great thing.
It is.
Because at the same time you have these Connecticut heroes and stuff, and then from different parts of the city. And it's funny, we always talk about Hartford. Even though it's 159 towns,
Right.
Everybody's like, from this little small. We're all from this area.
Yeah,
but,
right.
But you're from there and there, and so you bring that all together, and you get
Oh,
you
yeah.
get a melting pot kind of thing.
Gabe Rose was watching. Good evening, Gabe.
Yeah.
So when I was there, and like I said, I would go again if I had the opportunity because I really enjoyed the experience. Again, I need to learn the rules more, and this nonsense of running around and falling down.
Oh,
Okay.
that business?
The over dramatic.
I gotta apologize for him.
The over dramatic. I'm in pain. I'm in pain. And then when the poor son of a gun is hurt, everyone's like, he's just whining. No, his leg's bent the wrong way. That's bad. So they talk about soccer and hockey, and they say, oh yeah, this guy got 16 stitches in his head. He came back. This guy's rolling around because he's playing it up for a penalty or a yellow card or whatever.
Well, I'll tell you what. So we have a player, Frederico Ferreira, from.
He's an actor.
No. So he's from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Okay, yeah.
He's up this summer playing with us. First preseason game against Hartford, right? 4 or 5 stitches in the forehead.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Head-to-head with somebody.
Ooh.
Came out, go to doctors, right? This past Saturday against a Portuguese club, broke his nose.
Oh. He needs a helmet.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's definitely putting head first into everything,
And he's playing on Saturday.
Great.
Yeah, there you go. Wow.
There's no concussion protocol.
No, wait. He passed protocol.
Okay, good.
Now, Nick, what's your favorite thing? I mean, do you still love playing more than anything, or are you digging managing the team, or do you like coaching the most, or are you wearing a lot of hats?
Yeah, I wore a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Last
Web design.
Yeah. So last night,
Less painful.
Yeah, I was on the field playing, coaching. The most important thing to me, my favorite thing, is really trying to give a place for players to play after college or in college. Because right when I graduated, it just wasn't there. Not in this community.
Yeah, sure.
If we wanted to go somewhere, you have to go to Boston, you have to go to New York City, somewhere where there's a metropolitan league
Sure.
or something more substantial.
Yeah.
So, the owner, Aaron Sarwar, and myself, and the rest of the staff, we're really trying to cultivate and grow this team so it's around, right? We don't want it to be, one and done, or 2 years, for it to be financially insolvent.
Sure.
We're trying to be pragmatic in how we invest, where we invest, and where to take the team, because we want to be around for the long term.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
And you put a great product out there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've never been a guy that's going to turn on a soccer game. But since watching it, live, I'm more apt to stop a little longer.
Yeah.
I'll stop a little longer and watch, they show the European, was it NBC Sports Network.
Yep.
And I'll watch it. And it's a lot of fun because most of the time I get up at 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's already on because they're 6 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, right.
Beautiful. I have a coffee, watch these guys run around.
It's very
Crazy.
true, yeah.
But it is. I'll stop a little longer now. I really have to figure out these rules. The only one I know is offsides.
That's a good one to know.
That's it. That's it. And that's it. And then they give me a yellow card. I'm like, what the hell did he do? He didn't do anything, they got. So, I have to get more versed in the soccer.
Yeah.
But it is fun to watch. What's painstaking, though, is how they set up the play.
Yeah.
It takes forever. I'm like, just shoot the damn thing. Shoot it on net.
You got to get a good quality opportunity.
Yeah, I
just
know.
like hockey.
Yeah, just like hockey,
I mean, every time we're at a hockey game, they go shoot, and then they're passing around the perimeter.
You got to work the
You gotta make the
possession,
goalie,
right?
yeah.
Sweet Jesus, just shoot it. Really.
You're just getting tired
Yeah.
watching these guys run around. Now, it's true. Don't they say it's true that soccer players, when they play a full game, it's like running almost a marathon? Have you ever heard that?
No,
Is that
yeah.
myth, or is that true, or?
Right, so the professionals, when they're tracked,
Yeah.
they're doing 8-9 miles per match.
Sweet God.
Yeah, I'd be dead.
That'd be first half.
That's
done.
a lot of
I
running.
liked it back when we played in grade school. They're like,
Yeah.
you're a defender. Don't go past the halfway mark, because
Yeah.
by the time you get down
Unless
there,
you had an
you're
offensive,
too fat, you can't
unless
run
the
back.
other team's all
Yeah,
offensive
and
and
I'm
you're
like, I'll
working
just
double
stay
as
here,
hard. Yeah, right.
Just get in front of the ball. That's what they told me.
In the head.
So yeah, that's what they do with the kids. But these guys are, I mean, you said they run so much that everybody's got to be top physical.
Yeah.
Anyway, they have all 4% body fat probably and stuff like that.
Well, hell, they
I
all
mean,
just got out of
my God.
college. They better be in
Yeah,
good shape.
Yeah,
So-
but that's
so-
a lot of running. That's a lot of
So
running.
let me tell you about.
Now, where'd you go to college?
I went to Bryant University
Oh, okay.
in Rhode Island.
There you go.
Yeah, my son graduated from there last year.
There you go.
Yeah. So now we're just paying for it.
But yeah, say
I'm
something.
still paying for it.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
You were just going to say something.
No,
yeah,
yeah. So I'll tell you a little bit about the roster. Since we're talking about how fit these guys are.
Yeah.
Some of the new players, some of the new talent we brought in, because this year I think the team is much better. The coaching staff, which I'm a part of, Christian Benjamin, the head coach, we've been active in trying to recruit players that we've coached before, that we have relationships with other schools.
Okay.
So believe it or not, some of these guys I've coached since they were 12-year-olds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not going to say you're getting old.
Now I'm not that old yet.
Now, do you get when you go out to recruit these guys? What's the process like?
Yeah. So we have to be very mindful of NCAA rules,
Okay.
right? Where usually it's a first contact to a coach where we have an existing relationship, and we say, hey, we have an opportunity for some of your guys to play with us in the summertime. And we explain the atmosphere and the environment that we are creating, which is a very professional setting, right? Regular training, regular games, structured training, and that's a selling point. Since they know us, right, we have a relationship with Central,
Yep.
so they always send us a couple of guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, Sean Green, the head coach, Christian Benjamin, who's our head coach, was a former assistant there.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah,
I
so,
didn't know that. I know Sean very well.
Yep, so Sean sends us a few guys. Tommy Poitras and Mike Coolis over at University of Hartford.
Okay.
yeah.
They sent us a couple guys. And as a matter of fact, they sent us a phenomenal player this year. So a guy by the name of Andre Morrison.
Okay.
Now, the soccer fans out there, they might recognize him as
Sounds a little familiar. Some strange.
he got drafted
Yeah.
by the MLS team Toronto FC.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
In the third round,
Okay.
you know, of the soccer draft in our country.
Okay.
Now he didn't quite sign a contract with them, so for the time being, right, he's going to play with us and seek opportunities overseas.
Okay.
So by all accounts, we have a first division player
Yeah.
going to be with our team.
That's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
was going to ask you about that. Now, when we go to the hockey games, we see NHL scouts at the college level, at the AHL level. They're there. Now, do MSL, do they have scouts come to
Yeah.
your
So
games?
right, you know, the way we are is we're a development team for players. Ultimately, we want to see them go to the next level.
Right.
Ju- Just like guys at the Wolfpack, right?
Right,
They want to be
right.
with the Rangers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a combine every year where we get to send a couple players,
Okay.
and they're evaluated by higher up teams,
Yep.
and then even within our own league. So we play the New York Cosmos this year, and the Cosmos have professional players, and they would like nothing more but to improve their roster
Oh, sure.
and sign the best players.
Yeah,
So if somebody catches their eye while playing against us, I'm sure there's going to be a phone call into me
contract. Yeah, right.
about sending this player down there.
That's wonderful.
Which we'll do because
Yes.
right,
Yeah.
it's in the best interest of the player.
Right.
And it's great that the universities work with you to get these players some playing time during the summer, because when they come back in the fall, they'll be ready to rock and roll
Absolutely.
for the university's fall schedule.
That's true too. Yeah, it's a great way to stay in shape. Keep
It's kind of like
active.
baseball
Yeah.
players that play in the summer leagues.
Yeah, Cape
you know?
Cod League, yeah.
Yeah,
You take a couple months off of any sport, you're going to get some rust. That's
Sure.
for
Yeah.
Sure. So
exactly.
that happens. But
Yeah.
And we have a pretty good pool. I mean, we have guys from Georgetown, in-state, right? It's Quinnipiac, Hartford, Central, UConn. We've had Eastern. We've had Southern.
yeah.
Now, when you, excuse me, coaching staff,
Yep.
same coaches as last year, or a change?
So we had a small change. We brought on a gentleman by the name of Jason Christopher. He's from Prospect, Connecticut. He's done some Olympic development,
Wow.
within the state coaching. We had Stefan Siebert, who was the Springfield College
Okay.
men's coach,
Yep.
and he actually took a job with the U.S. Soccer coaching organization. So
Oh, wow.
he actually has a UEFA badge, which is a coaching license.
Oh, okay.
And so now he trains coaches in this country.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good connection. Wow.
Yep.
Very cool.
But otherwise, the Christian's the head coach. I'm there as an assistant and associate coach. We run the day-to-day stuff for trainings.
Yep. Now, how many days a week do you practice?
Yeah, typical week. We'll train Monday. We'll train Tuesday. We'll give the boys a night off. Thursday we'll go. The occasional Friday.
Light on Friday.
Late on Friday.
You gotta get
Yeah,
started.
yeah. It's usually just organization,
Yep.
tactics,
Yep.
set pieces,
Yeah.
and then Saturday's game day.
Now, do you game plan for each opponent, or do you kind of just run a zone for your own team? This is our best strength.
Yeah.
Thing.
It's a little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Yeah.
You know,
So is it
It's hard
kinda
to
like-
scout the
is
other
it-
teams, right? I mean, you don't have someone. watching.
Yeah.
There's no radio or TV yet, or anything,
Well,
is there? Or
so-
internet? Or
yes.
Hartford Public Access covered last year.
They
Oh,
do.
did they? I'm
Yes.
sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yes.
I should know that.
Yeah. What the hell's wrong with you?
I
So-
should know that.
I've only
yeah.
been here,
We-
what,
right.
3 years?
Yeah.
We live stream every single game.
Okay, good.
And,
That's awesome.
And some of our opponents do the same thing.
That's great.
Okay. And
And-
where would people be able to see that though? Through Facebook or through?
Yeah, so if you actually go on to our website,
Yeah.
hartfordcity.com,
Yeah.
right, in the schedule, there's a broadcast button.
Oh,
And you
okay.
click that broadcast button, and it'll take you to the Facebook event,
Uh-huh.
and you can watch live stream then.
That's
I think
awesome.
That's huge. That's very huge.
Well, Jose did the games last year.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Jose
I remember you
Gomez,
told me
who
that
has now
now.
graduated to Fox 61.
Yeah.
He is
He
now
left
a
us.
full-time photographer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
that's what they call him with the guys with the cameras.
So who's the main rival? Because I think rivalries are the key to
Oh,
any
yeah.
league. So you had to pick one team. I know it's early, and you probably may be able to add a couple more after this
Oh,
season,
yeah.
maybe.
No.
But there must be either regionally or geographically, or is it just those guys are mean and we don't like them?
Yeah, well, no, there's some of all, but
Okay.
He's
right.
not going to talk ill about the
I
team.
didn't
Yeah,
say
never,
big
never.
names.
No,
But you can if you want.
right. And in soccer, we have a thing called a derby match, right? Or just a derby,
Yep.
which is typically two teams from the same city playing against each other, right? It's your Manchester United, Manchester City.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
for baseball, it's your
Mets, Yankees.
Mets,
Yeah.
Yankees,
Yeah.
Red Sox, Yankees.
Red Sox, Yankees. Same thing, right?
Such an ass.
You know, NHL, maybe it's the Maple Leafs and the Canadians,
Yep.
right?
Yep,
For that
yep.
Canadian rivalry.
Yep, yep.
You know, for us, it's Elm City of New Haven, who we
Yeah.
happen to be playing against this
Yeah.
upcoming Saturday.
Saturday.
And,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And they are happen to be the defending NPSL champions.
Oh,
Wow.
that's amazing too. Was that a big deal for them? How new?
Oh,
were they?
absolutely. No, they entered the league last year just like we did.
Oh, wow.
Now their structure right now, how they operate, a little different, right? Our team is totally amateur, unpaid. They do provide some payment to some players
Oh,
for their
wow,
team.
Okay. So
Yep.
there's a little difference there between teams.
Yeah, there's a little bit of parity.
Yeah, yeah,
And so, right, we played them twice last year. Went down to their place,
Yeah.
tied 1-1.
yeah.
They came up to our place. We lost 2-1.
Wow,
And they went undefeated the
Wow.
entire season
wow.
and won the national championship. So, you know, kudos to our rivals
Yeah.
who had a very successful first campaign.
Well,
How
you
many
make
ties
sure
did
you
they end
kick
up
their behinds.
That's
this
that's
Saturday.
the plan.
You damn it. You know what? Give them a nice loss right in the beginning of the
Yeah.
season.
Now, did they have a couple of ties, or was it? Were you guys?
I think
the tie.
I think they had 2 ties.
Yeah, so
I-
you're one of the teams.
Yeah,
that,
six goals all year
right.
scored against. We
Wow.
had 2 of them,
Yep, yep.
and we're hoping to score more than 2 this year.
Wow, so they were shutting down
Yeah,
teams
they-
offensively,
yeah.
majorly, huh?
Wow.
They were a quality team.
Wow. So was their defense that won them the championship? You think?
That was the money they're paying them.
It was
Oh, that's a good point. There's a little parody, like you
I'll
said.
say it. You can't. I'll
Yeah.
say it.
It was. You're right. They had a player up top who was not the Golden Boot winner, and for us in soccer, Golden Boot is most goals scored in the season.
I thought it was a thing when you drink the beer out. I was getting excited.
That's after the game. That's after the game.
That's that New Britain restaurant.
Yeah.
What else do we have for Nick? Let's see. Most.
Yeah.
When you look at your goalkeepers, do you have just one starter that's going to carry the club, or are you alternating back and forth?
Yeah.
Not to give away too much
No,
strategy.
no.
here, but-
So, right, our goalkeeper also happens to be our captain,
Okay.
Hamikara,
Yeah.
and right, he's a leader on the field and off the field. And for team chemistry, right, we typically don't want to pull him out of goal.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Now, if there are opportunities to give our backup goalkeeper some chances in the net, absolutely, we'll take it. But in the course of a season, right, you try not to disrupt a good thing when you got it going.
Yeah.
So-
absolutely.
So the chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing as with the hockey goalies. I mean, you don't want to shatter your guy's his confidence by removing him. At the same time, though, you do want your backup goalie because God
Yeah.
forbid,
Something happens.
Yeah, something happens, and then hey, we're going with you, and you don't want that guy to be scared to death.
Yeah.
Right.
But you got to do it sometimes, and I imagine there's probably not a lot of times. Maybe there is. You can tell me there is, but where you can put the backup goalie in because it's not like you get these 4-0 leads like you do in hockey. You go, hey, put the other guy in. We got a 4-0 lead. We can hold this. You don't know.
No.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you get those leads.
No, you're right. Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
They're infrequent.
Yeah.
But like I said, when an opportunity presents itself to give a player on the team a chance, and not just a goalkeeper, right? Any player
Sure.
that
Right,
might
yeah.
not be in the starting 11,
It's true.
right?
Yeah.
We give them that chance. Now, for us, the way it's structured, right? We can only put 11 guys in the field at once.
Yep.
You know, and there's only so many minutes for each of those guys to play in the game.
Right.
Exactly.
And we can only put 18 on the game day roster, which
Oh,
means
really?
Oh,
if
wow.
we have 26 guys
So 8 guys
on
are
the team,
scratched.
8 guys aren't even going to be able to
They
play.
They don't dress.
They
anything.
can't dress. That's league rule.
Wow. Even if you have injuries, so if you have, let's say you have a couple injuries during a game, you can't
Got-
replace those players.
Well, you can. You got to use
Yeah.
one of your 7 subs.
Oh, okay. So yeah, in other words, but
Yeah.
in other words, you'd never be able to have a full bench though.
Exactly.
That game.
And, one of the soccer rules, you got to learn. Right?
Yeah.
There's no re-entry. It's not like you can change lines.
So you
Yeah,
sub a
yeah,
guy,
yeah.
he can't come back
he
in.
can't come back in.
Wow.
Who the hell thought of this?
Yeah, so there's a lot of strategy because that's not like it really any other sport. I mean, it's baseball. You know, you put your pitcher and you take them out. You can't put them back in. But you gotta really kind of think that out. Especially what time.
I think it's
where in the game
what
are
I've
you?
learned tonight is really fun because
It's a little
it
chess.
is a chess
Yeah,
match.
it
Yeah,
is.
it's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Now, substitutions can happen anytime.
You can do it. Yep. You can actually make a substitution if a starting player, right? Because we have to give a starting lineup before the game starts.
Yep.
And if we submit that lineup and that guy gets hurt, right? We actually have to make a substitution at the 1 minute mark officially for him to. The kickoff will occur.
So the guy could be out there like a bloody stump, right?
Yep. And we just have to wait for.
You have to wait for the 1 minute mark.
Yeah.
Yep.
Outstanding.
So that can happen.
You know, I fortunately haven't seen too many injuries, thank goodness. But the way these guys turn and run down the field, you wonder who has knees left. Because you know what? The cutting and this, and then people get in the way. It's like a traffic jam out there.
It's like, I get worried about that when I'm on skates. But when you're just, full-blown running, now it's like you don't have pads on or anything. You just, going for it.
Just remember, it's not the years, it's the mileage.
Yeah.
True.
It's true.
That's why we're not out there.
Yeah, that's why.
We'll sit
We
and
got both.
enjoy a beverage on the sideline.
That's
But
right.
Pete and I will try to make a game. I think it'd be
Oh,
fun to
yeah,
get out there.
Absolutely.
Kind of do a
Absolutely.
Facebook Live.
Yeah, we would love to do
throw
that.
us a
That'd
couple of
be
these
fun.
jerseys and we'll put them
Yeah.
on and
Yeah.
support you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so back to the substitution thing.
Yeah.
Once you substitute, can't come back in.
Correct.
Who's on first? No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
No copyright infringement. But then like you said, the guy's hurt. He's sitting on the bench. He can't go back in.
That's right.
First of all, because he's hurt. Second of all, because you already substituted him out.
Right.
That's right.
Now you're screwed.
I'll tell you, it's interesting because I was going to say to myself, are you guys? Is that one of your big concerns? I mean, it's not really the way you game plan for a season, but you get so many injuries. Where you then you immediately got to recruit on the fly.
So
let's say you're down 4 players, different areas. You need a couple. You just want to feel better about.
Yeah.
You want to beef up your roster. Now you have to recruit during the season.
So
Yeah.
right, we don't want to. We'll try to avoid that.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why we start with a 26-man roster. And
Oh, okay.
right, we're always looking to acquire talent.
Oh, sure.
So if anybody out there wants to play, or
Right.
you're a halfway decent
Right,
guy,
if you're listening.
give me a buzz.
We'll
Yeah.
throw him in the goal.
Yeah.
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 I might be good at that.
Here,
Get in the way.
hit him
I'm good
here.
at getting away. I'll tell you.
Here, someone has a question, I think. What do you got over there? They want to
From
see.
Darius Edward Wyasek. And it's an ad. Oh, it's an advertisement.
That's great.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Ask soccer questions.
Yeah. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
We'll block you too.
There's your 40-year mortgage is shot.
Yeah, right.
So back to soccer.
Yeah, but from a coaching perspective, right? You can never predict.
They don't have a mortgage.
Yeah.
They don't even have a home field. We're trying to get them.
We're trying to get a mortgage.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You can't predict injuries,
Right.
You plan for the worst, hope for the best.
Right.
And when we are compiling the game day roster of 18 players, right, we go through, we kind of put our 11 guys in the field that we think based on the week of practice and training, right, who's in the best form.
Right.
So each week, these guys have to prove themselves to us as staff that they are prepared mentally and physically to play in a match.
Right.
And then from there, we have to think about, what happens if we had to change this guy, or this forward, or this center back, or this holding midfielder.
Yeah.
Who can do that job? Some guys are more utility men, where they can play different positions.
Right.
Yep.
We always got to bring a backup goalkeeper because you never know what
Never know
happens.
what's gonna happen, right.
Because you don't want to put a field player in there.
Yeah.
So
Are you the third string, by the way?
I'm the third string for everything.
He's the web designer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your roster for who you're putting on the field can change every week.
Yeah,
You might not see the same player for every game in a row.
absolutely.
Wow.
Interesting. I find that interesting because say the guy has a bad week, he's a little tired. Nope. On the bench.
I don't know if it's done quite like that, but
Well,
in general.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
Sit over there.
yeah. We look for consistency, right? We need some consistency on a
Yeah.
week to week basis.
Right,
Sure.
Right.
So you played here in Connecticut, high school,
Yeah.
Glastonbury.
Glastonbury High.
Okay. How'd you do then? Glastonbury go to the States?
State champion.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
wow. I didn't even know that.
So now you got a lot more.
I played my state championship at Dillon Stadium.
There you go.
Oh, you're kidding.
That's
wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
so
really.
you played there. Was it? Now, how long? Might have been a little. What, 5 years ago? How long was it? How was
He's not that
yeah,
old.
yeah. Right now.
That's 10 plus years ago.
Oh, okay. Because I wanted to ask you. They talk about the condition of the field now.
Yeah.
Now, when you did play there, what did you think of the field at Dillon
Field's
at
fine.
that time? Oh,
Right.
it wasn't as bad as they're making it
field's
up?
fine, right?
Yeah.
You just couldn't sit on the bleachers.
Just can't sit in the bleachers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring your lawn chair.
I thought the stadium was old back then.
Yeah. But is it true with bad restrooms, bad locker rooms? Did you see some of that?
You know, as a
They probably kept them out of there.
yeah, no, we were in the locker room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't spend a lot of time in the
Yeah,
locker
right,
room, but
yeah.
we were there for a
There's
few
not much
minutes.
to-
It was a cold November night. We kind of want to get there running.
Right.
Right.
But I think the town brought on the West bleachers. It was full. I mean, there was
That's
there was
awesome.
4,000 or
Oh, that's
5,000.
great to
Yeah,
know.
but Glastonbury, like a lot of other towns, support their high school sports very well.
Right.
Over the years, we've at Central had the football championships, and the amount of people that come in. First of all, because they're only paying a very small fee to come and see the game, and we have enough room, parking, and for the bleachers in the stadium to hold a lot of people. We had teams all the way from Canaan, New Canaan, I'm sorry, come out, and interesting group. And then we had some Hartford teams. It was a great bunch, different all around coming into Central.
Right. And now when you guys are working on your practices and whatnot, is it more of you guys trying to work chemistry, or is it about building fundamentals, or are you working on plays? I mean, how do you
conditioning.
Because like you said, you probably don't get a lot of game footage to watch of the team that's coming at you.
No,
right?
we don't. I mean, we kind of know the philosophy of each team, right? Each team kind of has a personality in themselves, right? We know the team from Boston. There are a lot of Brazilians, a lot of Portuguese, so we kind of know their style of play.
They paid too?
They're paid, yeah. Versus the team from Maine, right?
travesty.
Portland, Maine, right? It's going to be college kids who grew up in the Maine area.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one spend their summer up in Maine.
It's almost like a throwback to when the baseball, like they had the travel leagues of the baseball, like these are the guys from this area.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's
Or even
the way
the
you
Cape
build a
Cod,
sport.
the Cape Cod League.
Yeah. It's really, it's interesting. So.
Are you the only team that doesn't pay people?
No, there's a lot of teams. So
Okay.
believe it or not, the league has like 100 teams across the country.
Okay.
It's bigger than you think,
California to Florida up to Maine. There's some teams in North Dakota, teams in everywhere. Midwest.
Wow.
You name some of the smaller cities in the country, they got a team.
Yeah, they probably do. Yeah.
Well, and when Sean was on last year, we went through that whole process that, you have your regions set up.
Yes.
And that's where the regional playoffs will take place.
That's right.
And that's when he was talking about it last year, how you guys made the first round of the playoffs.
Yep.
And I was like, holy crap, this goes nationwide.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
See, I said, holy crap. There you go.
But so in terms of right, when we as a staff when we're bringing the team together, for training over the course of the year, one, the team dynamic changes because guys who are in college, they can't join us until their school year kind of officially ends.
Right.
So those college guys kind of come in maybe a week into the start of the
You're
season.
waiting on them right now.
Yeah, yeah, we're waiting.
I
We're
mean, you just played
waiting for some young blood to come in.
You played 2 preseason games. You had just played the May 5th game.
Yep.
And you're still waiting for them because they don't get out of
next week.
Friday, tonight.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
week
Guys,
they're out.
Guys are finishing exams right now.
Yeah.
So they can actually play against Elm City on Saturday.
So they could play against Elm City, but in terms of how we kind of construct the team, you don't just come in, you just don't just play.
Yeah, you don't just get in
You
and
got to
play.
kind of earn your keep a little bit.
Depends how good the people you have prior to them coming in.
Hey, not on the air. But yeah, so
Bring
for
me
the,
in.
yeah, for the
I'm
beginning
a
of the
motivational
season,
speaker.
we want to build team chemistry because we got a returning group of core guys.
Sure.
Right, they know each other. They know how they're going to play. Personalities. What someone's going to do in the field. What they're not going to do. Limitations.
Sure.
So, get the team together, get them playing, and then we have to try to institute, our philosophy. What kind of style are we going to play throughout the year? And when you start the season, you emphasize your defensive structure, your defensive philosophy. Right? You got to be organized, and you have to defend.
Sure.
And then from there, you kind of grow and you kind of tweak. And based on each week and how you perform, you identify deficiencies or weaknesses, and you try to adjust that in training.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do is just make yourself, try to fix your faults, and
Yeah.
So really, you're selling yourself to market yourself against the rest of the team.
Yeah.
So you get a playing spot. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you come in and you're dogging it,
Yeah.
well, you can be dogging it over there.
Oh yeah. No, so we feel that competition
Yeah.
dictates the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Plus, it's healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
You got the eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
That's
not,
right.
Not running 95-degree heat.
Only the strong survive.
He barely walks at 95 degrees.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Oh, your dad's watching. Hello, David. Good evening.
How's it
Welcome
going?
back from
Hey.
Las Vegas. We have about 5 minutes left. So what do you want to tell us about a good example? You just brought it up. Is the type of game you play.
Sure.
Is there a West Coast style, an East Coast style? Is there, like in hockey?
Is there a power surge?
I mean,
Yeah.
power surge is what you get at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds like a soft drink.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes it's dictated based on personnel,
Yeah.
right? I believe that we have a very good team this year.
Okay.
So for us, we want to control the tempo of the game, which
Okay.
means we want to be in possession of the ball more frequently.
They're going to set it up. See.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we're also kind of, without giving it away,
Sure,
we're kind of changing the structure from last year that should create more advantageous opportunities for us to score, right? We should score more goals this year.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
It's a great goal.
So saying that,
Yeah.
The offense. So were you more of a defensive team last year than an offensive team, or
No,
would you say
no.
where was your strength on which side of the ball?
so our strength was probably our back three
Okay.
and our attacking players.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
year,
You have
I
to
don't want
see-
to say I see any weaknesses, but right, it's a pretty strong perceived starting 11,
solidified the
pretty
the
strong
base,
18. From top to bottom, it's a pretty good squad.
Yeah.
So, for us, the most important thing I was trying to institute, right, in my role with the organization, which is a good product,
Yeah.
right? I know Connecticut likes a winner,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
So I want to make sure we have the best possible product, which is the team,
Yeah.
on the field. And, right, the stuff before the game, I think the fans enjoy. I think the pageantry that AOH brings as supporters with
cool.
the chants and the cheers and the scarves and the flags and the tifos, and the big tifos where they
Yep.
kind of write special stuff about our team or the other team.
Yes, correct.
That is a T-shirt waiting to happen.
Yeah.
They must have them already, I would think, but
And that's great. Connecticut loves a winner, whatever they are. I mean, UConn has spoiled us
They
with
have.
their championships.
yeah.
So now,
Yeah.
nothing can measure to how many
Yeah.
championships you can get.
yeah, right,
But I think if you remain competitive
right.
Yes.
throughout the season, also counts.
Absolutely.
I have no problem going to a hockey game or a sporting event, and our team, whatever it may be, is competitive. Okay, at the end of the day, maybe you lost the game, but at least you were in it.
Right.
When you get your doors blown in, I don't want to talk to you.
So, right,
He's rough.
and I think, right, I think the philosophy we bring to training as a staff and the culture we try to create with the players, right, tells me that the guys are never going to quit,
Yeah.
right? And the guys who aren't getting time are always going to push for time.
Right.
So whoever we put in the fields, right, they're going to work for 90 minutes to try to get the result we want.
And they have to realize, as you said before, someone could be watching them.
Yeah.
You're on technically a stage where you're not only representing the club, but first of all yourself. You're putting your work ethic out there, and there might be someone there jotting some notes down about you that you might get a phone call.
Yeah, and they're not just representing themselves. We always tell them they represent the community for which we serve, and especially from the guys from the local towns, the South Windsors, the Tollins, the Weathersfields, the Glassmarys, the Avons,
Farmington,
the Hartford, the West Hartford. Right, they're playing in front of kids who are
Idolize
playing,
them.
Yeah, they play soccer right in the town that guy grew up in.
Sure.
And at the end of the game, the kids come, and they have the players sign posters that we hand out.
Yes.
So,
yes, that was awesome last year.
Yeah.
And I really have a lot of time. We have one minute.
Okay.
But I'd love to have another conversation with you. Peter and I will have a conversation.
Live from a game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we're going to the game. I think
Yeah.
it's great. We'll try to hit one of the games.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
really.
Thank you,
And
guys.
edu-
I
and-
appreciate it.
A
And
lot of great work.
educating us.
Yeah.
A lot of great work to you, and
And the exam is 90 questions, multiple choice.
That's good.
So
multiple choice.
just give us our crayons.
Yeah. Definitely crayon.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. We will be back next week with playoff news, unless we get another guest who's kind enough and has nothing else to do in their life to come and join us for an hour. We are the Whaler guys. You guys are Brigade. We're still fighting for you. We're one day from another dream. Have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
No problem. What'd you think?
That's great. Yeah.